Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here, and today I'm going to tell you guys the truth about posting as a magician on Craigslist. Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Advice for Magicians video where my job is to make you guys the best possible entertainers that you can be. Now, I've been asked this question quite a bit because it really shocks people when they find out, how do I get my gig leads? Of course, I'm running paid ads on Google. I have a professional Yelp account, right? But I also post on listing sites like Gig Salad and Craigslist. And people are always shocked, like, well, really? Gig Salad? Really? Craigslist? Aren't these like a sea of like $50 gigs where, you know, bottom of the barrel deals are coming across your table? And I wanted to address those questions in this video because when I tell people the types of gigs that I'm booking in these platforms, they're usually very shocked. And I think that you guys are leaving money on the table by not listing on these websites, Craigslist specifically. So I'm gonna do that in this video. It's gonna be a pretty quick one today. But before we do, if you're not already subscribed, of course, you know what to do. Ring the bell so you don't miss out whenever I upload a new video. And I wanted to shout out some of the newest members. So ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Jammin' Johnny, Sean Whitaker, Hayes Chan, Kevin Goosey, Seth Howard, and Joyce Benjamin. These guys have become members of the Mob Squad. They're going to get access to the tutorials playlist as well as early access to videos. In the time of making this video, there's over 70 videos in that tutorials playlist, and many of them are full-length projects. Like my Yu-Gi-Oh project is in there. I teach like 15 effects. My brand new Pints and Prestidigitation project is in there, where there's 6 full-length effects. And keep in mind, these are themed with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. These are themed with, you know, beer cards, things that you need to buy to be able to do the tricks. But you can do these with regular cards too. So if you're just after learning some fun and new magic ideas that maybe you want to use your own cards on, it's only $5 a month and you get access to these things. I'd also like to take the time to shout out 2 new members of the Inner Circle. So ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Christopher Berry and Dion Labuti. Thank you guys for becoming Mob Lieutenants. They're going to get access to all that other stuff. Plus, they're going to get access to the Inner Circle playlist where they can watch full lectures. They're going to get access to the live stream videos and a whole bunch of other stuff. So thank you guys so much for joining. If you're curious about joining these guys and becoming part of the Mob family, go ahead and click the join button or the membership tab right here on my channel for more information. All right, Craigslist. What the heck are we talking about here? So I have been posting on Craigslist since pretty much the beginning, right? Same with Gig Salad. I've been using both of these listing platforms since I pretty much started doing magic. And I've seen, you know, sort of the waves that come and go on these platforms. And one of the most recent updates to Craigslist specifically, and I say recent, this is, I believe 2019 or maybe 2020, you know, before the pandemic, they changed this to where you had to pay to list a posting now, to post a listing, whatever it is, to post a listing, there you go, on Craigslist. It's $5 per post, right? So a lot of people were like, I'm not posting anymore on Craigslist. It's, you know, crap that I have to pay for it now and all of that. But the truth is, I've noticed that my gigs, at least, you know, the amount of emails that I've gotten with people genuinely interested in booking me have increased since this. And the reason for that is that before, you know, when it was free, people would just spam. They'd create like 20 accounts because you're only allowed to post 3 times a week or whatever it is. So people would spam it with like 20 accounts. So you would see like DJ, my posting, DJ. It's like the same exact account spamming this whole thing. And so what would happen is after like 12 hours, your listing wouldn't even be on the first page anymore. It would be completely buried. So unless someone is, you know, flipping through to like the 5th or 6th page, they're not even going to get to your listing, right? Since they've changed it and now you have to pay for Craigslist, it's super duper practical, you know, like I'll make a listing and it'll stay on the front page for a few days because people are only posting once a day or once every couple of days instead of 20 times, 30 times in one day like they used to be. And reason for that is simple. They don't want to spend, you know, a couple $100 to post that many times. But the cool thing is it keeps the listings on that front page for a few days before you need to post it again. So usually I recommend posting on Craigslist once a week in your city and the cities that are surrounding you. So for me, I service Los Angeles, the Inland Empire, the High Desert, and Orange County. The whole area within like a 50-mile radius I will drive to, right? If you start heading up a little further north, like if someone wanted to book me in like San Diego or something, or not San Diego, excuse me, San Francisco, there you go. Someone wanted me to book me in like San Francisco or something like that. It's a little bit of a different situation. I charge travel fees and all that stuff. But I service all of the major cities that are around me within about a 50-mile radius or so. And so that way you're covering your bases. You're not just posting in that one area, you're kind of broadening out. Now, of course, make sure that you have appropriate transportation to be able to get out to these places, but you guys get the point that I'm trying to make. If you post to 4 or 5 listings a week, that's $20 to $25 a week you're spending on posting on Craigslist. If you only book 1 gig that week, that covers the entire expenses. In fact, if you only book 1 gig off Craigslist that month, that covers all of those expenses. That covers the $100 in advertising that you put out on Craigslist for that week, right? Let's just say you book a gig, that's a $100 gig, right? I'm not saying to take a $100 gig, but let's just say you book a $100 gig, your expenses for posting are covered. If you book a $200 gig, your expenses are covered and you made a $100 profit. If you book a $300, $400, $500, $1,000 gig, you know, you see where I'm going with this. So now you might be thinking, yeah, but I've heard that when you post on Craigslist, everyone's always like, oh, my budget for like 3 hours of magic is like $50, right? Do you get those emails? Yeah, you kind of do, but it's not as bad as you think. Oftentimes someone will email me, they'll be like, hey, I'm looking for a magician, you know, I saw your ad on Craigslist, we're curious to know what you charge. So it's your job now as the performer to explain to them what it is that they're getting with your price. And I straight up tell my customers, I'm like, look, I'm listing on Craigslist because I want my magic services to be available to everybody. I do have my corporate rates, and I understand that you're looking for a magician for like 12 or 13 people in your backyard. It's like a barbecue, you're having a bunch of family members over. You're not booking me out for like a corporate $300 thing. You're just booking me for a couple hours in your backyard. So I am gonna give you a little bit of a price break, but do understand you're getting this, you're getting that, you're getting this, you're getting that, right? And I explain to them exactly what it is that they're looking for. If they're looking for a budget magician, I ain't it. And I tell them that straight from the jump, right? So here's an example. Someone reached out to me not too long ago, and this is a company event, right? A company sponsored event. They reached out to me and they were like, hey, we're looking for a magician. We want you to do like a little 30-minute show. It's gonna be family friendly. There's gonna be adults, there's gonna be kids, and then maybe like an hour of walk around. And I gave them the pitch and I explained to them what my rates were gonna be. And they were not super low. I charged a little bit less than I would normally charge, but because they told me it's like a fundraising thing or whatever. And so I charged them a little bit less than what I would normally charge, but I didn't charge them a lowball rate. I still charged them something that would be worth my time. Let's just say it was gonna be between $500 and $1,000 for the hour and a half that I was gonna be there. And the guy explained to me straight up, he was like, bro, I'm looking at your website and like, you're pretty legit, huh? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not really just like some guy with a deck of cards. I've been doing this for so long. I've been on television, et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. How do I put down a deposit? And I didn't have to argue with him or haggle or anything like that. And he was telling me straight up, he's like, yeah, man, I'm seeing a magician for $200. I'm seeing a magician for $150. I'm seeing face painting, I'm seeing DJs, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. I'm like, your rates are higher, but dude, I'm looking at your stuff and you're legit, you know, like you're definitely worth what you're charging. And I did tell him what I would charge normally, but I did give him a little deal, right? And so he was like, yeah, man, I really appreciate you knocking off some money for me. You know, I don't want to put you out, nothing. And I'm like, no, dude, it's all good. Like, I understand you're trying to do like a little fundraiser thing. I don't mind helping you out, right? So I just had this little conversation with them, and within 10 minutes it was booked. $1,000 gig, right? Between $500 and $1,000. And that's just because I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying not to get in trouble for telling you guys what my rates are. But yeah, I mean, it worked out that way. Now, do I get inquiries from Craigslist? Hey, I'm looking for a magician. My budget is $100 and we want you for 3 hours. Yeah, you get those. And I very politely decline them. I explain, look, you're probably not going to find a professional at that rate. Maybe you might find one that's just starting out at that rate. If you don't care about the quality and you just want whatever is the cheapest because you're just trying to tick a box on the things that you need to get, I'm sure you could find a magician for $100. I'm willing to meet you somewhere in this range if you can make a budget for that. And if they say, no, that's too much, that's it. What's done is done. If they say, no, I think maybe we can't make that work, but we can make this work instead, and they meet me somewhere like pretty reasonably in the middle, then chances are I might end up taking the gig. Again, I paid $5 for that lead, and if I'm booking a $500 gig off of that $5 lead, it's still a pretty good haul, right? So the moral of the story is, yes, you're gonna get some people that are lowballing you. You're gonna get some really outrageous ones like $15 an hour, because that's what minimum wage is in California. It's $15 an hour. That's what we're gonna pay you to come do walk around magic for 8 hours, right? You might get something like that. But I also book gigs on Craigslist that are worth my rate. Just a couple days ago, I closed a company holiday party. They're doing a big old celebration. They're doing like a 50th anniversary of their company or something like that, right? Their company being open. And I just straight up quoted them my rate. I was like, yeah, this is my rates. And then they were like, yeah, it's done. It's booked. Let's go ahead and get you booked in. Why? Because the CEO of the company wasn't the one booking me. They just were like, yeah, just go find a magician. And so this is like what our budget is. Don't spend any more than this, but yeah, go find a magician. So the secretary was just like, well, I don't know where to find a magician. So go on Google, magician in my area, right? And then they have a bunch of different options. And like, ooh, Craigslist, I know Craigslist. I've shopped on there before. Let me find a magician on Craigslist. Boom, and then they click on it. Yelp pops up, Gig Salad pops up, right? These are very popular lead generating sites, right? Bark is another popular one that pops up. All these different sites pop up, right? She already knows her budget. She's like, oh, we got like a $3,000 budget. So yeah, I'm just gonna go on Craigslist and find a magician, right? And then the other thing that people know to do too is, oh, I don't wanna get like a $50 magician, because that's probably gonna be like a guy with a top hat and a rabbit that hasn't showered in a few days, that, you know, you know what I mean? Like that's like the stereotype. We want like a corporate magician, right? We want like someone that wears a nice suit because, you know, it's going to be a corporate event. We want someone that's polished, someone that's been doing this for a while, preferably someone maybe from the Magic Castle, because a lot of people know about that place. It's like a really prestigious place. If we say, oh yeah, this magician, we got him from the Magic Castle, you know, like it's a big deal. So she knew that she was going to be spending some money, but she just didn't know where to look, so she went on Craigslist. And if my ad had not been on Craigslist, she wouldn't have found me. She would have probably booked someone else. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to get these leads. I usually book 1 or 2 leads a month at my rate on Craigslist. Sometimes I might book something a little bit lower than what I'd like to charge for it if I'm able to do the event. If it's on the way to another event, or it's one I'm coming off of work or whatever, yeah, they might haggle with you a little bit and get you to lower your rate. But you're still getting paid, you're still getting booked. And the way that I see it, I can sit at home and do nothing for a few hours, or I can go out for a few hours and I can make a few $100s, right? And it doesn't cost you a whole lot to get these leads. It's a $5 post on Craigslist. But that's the truth of Craigslist. Let me know what your experience with Craigslist was in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time in the next Advice for Magicians video. Take care.